That's awkward. Hello there.
Oh, okay.
Was that AI? Was that Chat GPT?
No, that was my Ewan McGregor, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Hello there. As he drops down on General Grievous.
Oh, let's go back to the original. I don't like that view at all.
You don't like that? You don't like that zoom in on my close? Yeah.
Well, no, it's too much for me.
Too much of you? No way. That captures the beard.
I don't need that up so close though. That's what's weird.
I need to be able to see the bugs crawling in your beard, dude.
That's so bizarre.
Hey, did I tell you I started passing on some of the goods that you shared with me?
What do you mean?
The beard butter and beard oil.
You passed it on?
Yeah. I got a buddy here who's got a solid beard, and he unfortunately ran out of product, and he was like, "Man, I need a good beard butter." And I was like, "Well, it's funny you should say that."
How many did I give you?
I have like 6, dude. I've got so many, and this thing right here, like I apply it, but it's like a dime's worth.
This is what I'm saying with the beard butter. With the beard butter, you just want to put that on at night. That's all you need it for. Now the oil, like it looks like you've shaved since I last saw you.
That's every morning.
Did you shave last time I saw you?
Yeah.
I mean, even from last week's episode, I think you've shaved. But like
I shave about twice a week.
For real?
Yeah.
What a quitter.
I like a smooth face, dude.
It would be smooth if you use the beard oil.
No, it's not that. It's one, I can't, like I am borderline OCD about like the neck hairs pulling on stuff drives me.
There's a trick to that, okay? With your thumb and your index finger, you put your index finger on your jawline.
Okay.
And then your thumb on the other jaw. Okay. And then turn your wrist towards your chin. And then look straight up.
So stupid.
Look straight up. Anything below your hand, like going towards your chest, needs to be shaved.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And that's
a cool little.
And then that
little guideline. I got fat fingers though, bro. I'm gonna have a neck.
You realize the thickness of your hands will match. Your hands are probably bigger than mine. I don't know. I wear an 11 ring. How's that?
That's what mine is.
Okay, so yours are probably longer, but your face is also longer.
I got these like banana fingers.
Your hands are probably, or your face is also probably a little longer. So, but anyways, that indent that you have like under here.
Yeah.
That's the exact same. That's the exact same like type of shape that you want underneath your neck.
How you do that though? Because when you do it, you like tuck your whole hair underneath it. It's wow.
Well, no, because I don't want anything above it to get cut. So what I do is
it looks so wild when you do it. Look, he looks like a baby underneath, but you'd never guess it.
So all of that would get trimmed underneath my hand.
Sure.
That's how I do it.
Sense. I like it. That's a pretty good like just hand gesture to kind of,
because you know how I used to be a tool and I used to have that chin strap, right? That was a complete mistake.
I remember the chin strap. I'm not gonna lie. If I could pull it off, I would still try it.
I don't care how the shape of your face. If you could rock it. If you could rock it. That's all I say. Facial hair is facial hair. Like what you have is not bad.
Pink and orange shirts and stuff like that because I can pull those colors off.
I wear black so that my beard looks denser. Is that weird?
I love it.
I need to clean it up. I was up really late last night playing poker with your brother and Daniel and a few other people that were there.
Did you take them for anything, or did they?
I sure did. I took them. Okay, I walked out of there with $40 on top of what I put my 20 in, and I walked out of there with $60.
$40 profit, okay.
But the rule is that we could cash out at any time that we deemed necessary. So, because some people had to leave, some people had to come in late.
What time did you cash out?
I was one of the last ones there. Me, BJ, and Daniel. And then this one kid who is there that I guess is training with BJ.
Oh, fun.
He's a younger kid. I think he's like 18 or 19.
That's always fun.
Reminds me a lot of you. But no, we had fun last night. Yeah, like the way that he is, like he's.
I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. It's just you. I mean, he's a. He comes off as being, I guess, smarter than the average male.
Gotcha. Is he arrogant about it or just kind of?
No, that's where he's nothing like you.
Oh, ouch.
Hey, that's just honesty, man.
I mean, I'm a little arrogant about it. I won't lie about that. I just.
And I won't.
Friends know how to swing the hammer heavy.
I'm just honest. And I told him, I was like, dude, you look just like DJ's brother. And he's like, I haven't heard that yet. And
well, cool. Sounds like a cool guy. Can't wait to meet him.
He doesn't look like you because he has like that. He still has that baby face.
Dude, if I shaved this, you would think I was 21 again.
I don't know. This kid has like, I mean, he has that like neck hair going.
Like he's in middle school?
No, I mean, he probably looks like a sophomore in high school.
Okay.
But it was fun. He was a cool kid.
Kids his age?
No, he looks older than Casey for sure. But I know Casey always thinks he's trying to grow.
He's a sophomore though.
And he's trying to grow chin hair still, isn't he?
He is, dude. He got super excited about it the other day because he's like, I shaved and I think my mustache is coming back darker, Dad. And he was ecstatic, man. He was so pumped. And I'm like, part of me is like, do I help him understand the science of that it has nothing to do with how often you shave and everything to do with just what stage of puberty you're in?
And actually, I mean, I bet you if you wanted to promote the whole beard thing for him, like give him a little bit of beard oil.
Yeah. No.
Beard oil will promote your growth in the way that it comes out and appears. So
if he just takes that oil and rubs it there,
I wouldn't. Since he's going through puberty, I wouldn't necessarily give him that oil right away. Wait till it starts actually showing, and then he actually wants a beard. Let him choose what he wants to do. But like, there's nothing wrong with giving him a little bit, like out of your bottle. I wouldn't give him a whole bottle. I think he'll overdo it.
Yeah,
and he's just going to add to his acne problem with puberty.
Yeah, we don't want that.
So that's the only reason why I would say not give him a bottle of beard oil.
Like, no, we regularly, like he's practicing shaving, stuff like that. We've done that a couple of times. But yeah, just having some of that on every once in a while will help promote it.
So how you been?
Good, man. I'm getting ready to start back up another round of classes, like intro things tomorrow. And so I was kind of processing like how the schedule has to work out and everything like that. And Heather and I were talking about it. And I think I'm going to maybe cut back on one of the classes and do just one of them. This one that I'm doing is really intense. And I think it's going to be wiser, especially with the summer, because we've got CIY trips that we're going to take. So I think we're going to cut back to probably just one class for this semester, but it's still going to be really good and really intense. So, yeah.
And what class is it?
It's called Christian Doctrine and Theology. So, yeah, exactly. Bobby's eyes just went like clear to the back of his head. He was like, whoa. And for good reason, man. That's a heavy, heavy topic. And we're talking about big stuff too. Atonement and really heavy, like the deep stuff in Christianity. But, this is master's level work. So that's kind of what you expect. But this professor in particular is kind of, I don't want to say world renowned just yet, but definitely is starting to make waves in Christian communities, just as a communicator and just as a passionate believer in Jesus and a great teacher. So I really am excited to take this class. I've heard this guy speak a couple of times, just at CIY and things like that, and really love his content. And so I'm excited to actually study under him.
What's that supposed to prepare you for, though? Like what that doctrine and theology, like what's
so the full course load is focused on strategic leadership. So this one is more so rooted in the doctrinal, the Christian doctrine elements of what good leadership is, and then because it is a Christian private college, like offering it, it's one of their core classes that they require. So,
and is that going to get you ready for leadership or the like building blocks of leadership?
I would say both. I mean, ultimately, this is like deep rooted theology stuff. But then ultimately, I would say at its core, the primary idea is to prepare me for leadership in the church and leadership anywhere else in leadership elements I would choose to be.
Have
That's
any of
kind of the
these?
nice thing about this degree and why I liked it is it's not specific to church work because it's more so about leading people and sin nature, how it filters into the workplace, things like that. And so the course is actually prepping me, I would say, not just for leadership in the church, but I even feel like I could lead in another maybe in another avenue as well. You know,
Now, do you ever
or
feel
even
like
possibly
you're
these elements of leadership.
do you ever feel like you're almost like you don't need the class because it's like too elementary for where you're at now in your career and your education with the
I've wondered
class?
that, but some of the content that we studied, like most recently, we did one called the People Code, and I'll be honest with you, like one of the things that I struggle with is I'm not an organized person. Who would ever guess that? And yet, like as a leader, there's an element of organization that you have to have, and so I rely very heavily on technology to help me with things like that. Um, but there are areas that I would say God's created me for that I am gifted in, that I'm especially gifted in, working with people, communication, things like that. And so I guess really what I'm hoping to accomplish with this degree and really where it's been valuable so far is it's making me evaluate where where I am as a leader individually, and then also giving me the tools to grow personally as a leader, but also to grow other leaders. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I just didn't know if you felt like if this was even going to boost anything. Like, say there's a class that you feel like, like I don't think that's something that I need to work on, but they're focusing on that in this class. Is there anything that you can do to, I guess, are these all classes strictly based upon like a curriculum for this master's program, or is it something that you can kind of build around to where you can work on things that you're weak in or things that you think you need a little bit more work on?
So obviously, I still pick my classes, but the core elements are in leadership and self analysis, stuff like that. And so there are some core elements that I can't really dodge. But so far, all the ones that have been core, I've enjoyed. And then I would say, obviously, the elective classes that I can take that can be more formative towards what I'm interested in, if that makes sense. And
I
there's a
just didn't
couple that
know.
I've checked out.
I just didn't know if there's a class that you like get bored with because like you feel like you've almost reached that where you've almost got the education based upon like what you've already been doing in the church or whatever.
I so I mean, I guess it's possible. It hasn't happened yet. Um, like these classes are really part of what masters work, and I'll say the hard part to it is it's really there's at least in the degree I'm in, there's a lot of like self analysis that happens. There's a lot of like personal growth that has to happen. Uh, our degree in particular, my degree in particular, really focused. Like my last class was self awareness in the Christian leader, and it was a great class. I really loved it. I was with Matt Proctor, who's the president of the college, and Tim Whelan, who is the CFO, I think, of Tamco, the construction company, the
Mhm.
massive construction company out of Joplin. So brilliant minds, guys that have been doing high level work for quite a while. And the whole point of the class was like, how are you as a leader, and where do you come up short, and how can you like evaluate that? So one thing I really loved in the people code that we talked about was, I'm a yellow. Yellows are people driven. They're great at rallying people. They're great empowers, things like that. What they have a tendency to do is problem solve, but get overwhelmed and then run and hide from responsibility, things like that. And so part of it was breaking down, hey, what do you struggle with? You struggle with maintaining order, maintaining consistency, things like that. And then how can you, what I liked about the classes, we ultimately evaluated how can we become better at what we're good at, but also mitigate where we're weak. So how do we mitigate the damage that our weaknesses do? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just actually took a leadership course, like for supervisory training is what they call it. And we had to list out everything that we do and then find out how much time we spend on every little thing you can write down every little thing. Like I write notes about this, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But mainly the idea is like what your main job role is and what you go about to do to get that job done. So that's how specific you can be. And then you need to write down how much time you spend on that. So like if there's like 15 extra minutes you spend on this and you still are like lacking in it, so that's obviously a weakness. Like you almost find out how your weaknesses are just by blocking all that, how much time you spend on something out. It's pretty bizarre when you see it.
There's a billion ways to get to it, but ultimately that's what you have to do. You have to map it out and figure out where are you weak and how can you mitigate that? How can you, how can you soften like for me, I'm disorganized. So how can I mitigate my disorganization?
What do you mean by disorganized though? So like, I know that you have your own way of organization because if I was to walk in, like when you were in school, you had like your organization process was, I could find out what you were doing just based upon like how you were organized. So like organization is in like your mind or physically, like getting certain things done.
Physically, mostly. And that's the thing, because I don't organize by the same standards or in the same ways that other people organize, like it causes conflict.
For you or for other people?
I guess when I say I'm disorganized, what I'm saying is I'm organized in different ways, and that causes conflict with others. And so working out ways that I can mitigate the conflict there. How can I reduce the conflict that my alternate organization style causes? Right. And that's just, that's one aspect of it, but it's been some really good stuff. A lot of, part philosophy, part strategy. So it's been pretty good.
And that's what our thing was, is that like when you find out what you're lacking in, is there something that you're doing as your job or your responsibilities that you can maybe give to somebody else to kind of take on a realm of something that maybe they're not, that they have more time to do, like say it's like calling certain people out of the week or checking up on emails or something like that. See if you can put that on to somebody else to where it can help you strengthen something else that you're not organized in.
Yeah.
But that's granted, that's the training class that I went through is for a larger group of people. Like I'm only in charge of one person, like that I'm a direct supervisor with.
Gotcha.
So that for me isn't hard because like I can delegate that to where I will give him the things that I was given to do to where I can learn the job better.
Right.
So that's not hard. But if there was like 20,
I managed 2 different teams plus serve on, a couple of different teams as well.
And then you take on other responsibilities like a podcast,
and school board.
Yeah, you're crazy.
Stuff like that.
So you're just busy. We needed time on the air for that. So I'm glad you said that. But you really could have started this whole conversation.
Time on the air. Can we ask our listeners if they've seen somebody? We got a buddy that's missing.
2.
And we need to get like missing posters out or something on this guy, because
we were this close. We were this close to getting Daniel back.
We almost got the +1, man.
I almost got the +1. But he had something come up, and I'm not going to force somebody to do something. And Jordan, he's probably still on the road right now. So I got to see him yesterday. Traveling.
It's a busy season.
Yeah.
But be on the lookout for him, because that buddy is missing, and y'all need to harass him and tell him, hey, get back on the show. We miss you.
Yeah, because a lot of people are missing the special segments.
Guilt trip Jordan, emotional damage.
He probably don't even listen to this. So he's probably Christine will probably listen to it and be like, hey, they're talking shit.
That was awful. I feel really bad about how I just did that emotional damage. I need to do that again. Can I do that again?
Sure.
Emotional damage. That was way better.
I mean, your Asian accent is lacking, so I suggest you work on that a little more.
I wasn't trying to go strong on the Asian accent. I was just trying to mimic the guy.
That's what makes it funny.
Well, yeah, but I'm not Asian, so it's racist when we put
now, if I was to take off everything below your eyes and above your eyebrows,
don't be that way. I've always squinted. I'm a squinter, okay?
It looks like you're looking directly in the sun. No.
I have bad eyesight.
You have better eyesight than I do, I bet.
Bobby, that is a lie, and you know it. I will go get my glasses.
I had bifocals at age 10.
Boy, put your glasses up to the camera and show them how thick they are.
The thickness?
I will go show you the Coke bottle frames that I wear.
Okay, now I'm going to show you. These are not the recommended from the doctor, because I wore Coke bottle glasses throughout my entire elementary career.
I do remember those big old Coke bottles you had, Bobby.
I refuse to wear those, so I'm not wearing the recommended.
You can be cool like me, though. You got to get like the black frames and make yourself look real.
I have the military style square ones. These are still pretty thick. They technically still don't fit in these metal frames. They're still that thick. But the stigmatism in both of my eyes are so bad.
It looks like rays of spaghetti just coming off of every light.
Right. And
okay, so here, we'll make it easier. Okay. What is your contact numbers?
Shit, I couldn't tell you.
You don't know your power numbers?
My power numbers?
Yeah.
There's a score for that? No.
There's a power on your contact that says this strength.
I don't wear contacts. Is that the same thing? Is that so the number on your eye is not just a number for contacts? I thought you meant like contact number, like as soon as you thought I wore contacts.
No, I thought you wore contacts.
No, I don't.
Never?
Never. I can. That's probably my third phobia. 1 snakes, 2 heights, 3 contacts. Not doing it. I work in a prison, so if I get sprayed, you're always
weird about touching your eyeball, but I always thought you'd.
No, it's not the touch of my eyeball. It's where I work. If I get sprayed with OC, that stuff will melt to my eye.
Oh yeah, that's right. Dang.
I've never really wanted contacts. I've liked glasses. Now I don't like the ones that I had when I was 12, but
you don't like your old gosh, how do you describe them? They were like
let me grab a picture for you.
Glasses.
While I'm looking for that, talk to them.
They look like your dad's summer driving glasses.
Well, while you're describing my glasses, I'm going to find my picture. Let me find that picture.
Bobby, these glasses, I remember these glasses, okay? Y'all, he looked like he was starring in an 80s action movie, like opposite Van Damme, but he wasn't like the sidekick. He was like, gosh, I don't know. I'm going to say you were like the funny technician. You're like 3rd or 4th on the list. Yeah, those were the glasses. He's the funny technician in like some Van Damme action movie from the 80s. That's what he's going for with these glasses. I remember them vividly. In fact, you could pair these glasses with like a plaid Western shirt, and he would be pretty much every 80s villain in a movie, in an action movie.
I'm going to zoom in on this picture, okay? So I'm going to bring myself up.
I hope don't mind the frame. Picture I'm thinking of.
No, this is of me and my brother, and then me by myself doing the Home Alone face.
Oh my!
So I'm going to zoom in on myself, and then I'll try to zoom in. So don't mind the picture frame; it's a little dirty.
All right, Bobby.
Let's go to solo layout, and let's zoom in.
I'll describe it in real time for everybody that's listening and not
This
watching.
Was in probably the early 90s. That's me and my brother Aaron.
Frame is magical. It's a big yellow frame that says "Welcome" on it.
Yeah, it's one of my mom's that
Bobby,
she
those
had.
glasses are thick, man.
Okay, now here's the other one.
Mm-hmm. Up closer. Gosh, that frame is dusty, dude.
Yeah.
You look like a young Chris Farley.
I mean, that's a compliment and a disgrace at the same time.
Well, back in a little coat. Back in a little coat.
But with that being said, I had thick ass glasses.
They're pretty thick. I still don't know if they're thicker than mine, but with some pretty thick glasses.
Bifocals say it all. I had bifocals at age 10.
Okay, Benjamin Franklin, calm down.
Nobody really knew that he needed them. I think he's just the first person to invent them.
Okay.
And if you watch National Treasure, it was an invention to hide a treasure, not because
is that all it was?
Well, that's what it depicted.
Did you watch the TV one that was on Disney?
The TV one?
Yeah, they did like a show of it.
I did not.
A season of it.
I don't think you could really. Did they remake it or did they just give it a whole different storyline?
No, it's still plotted off of the original because the young dude is still in it. They brought him back. Not Nick Cage,
the guy from Hangover.
Is he in Hangover?
Yeah, he's the guy that gets left on the roof.
Oh, yeah, him.
Yeah, he's the one that they leave on the roof.
That make that weird. What's his name?
I couldn't tell you.
Well.
No, he reminds me of Charlie Day with the less wired attitude.
Yeah, okay. I go with that. Yeah,
but either way. So just busy. How's the wife after Mother's Day weekend last week?
She's doing good. It's been a busy week, but good week. Yeah. So
now I wonder if Heather is to blame for the computer crash.
Oh, probably, dude.
Oh man,
absolutely her fault. You should tell her that.
I now have a a hard drive.
A hard drive.
I don't know.
Yeah.
One of those.
Why don't you tell everybody what happened, man? They don't know what's going on.
Well, that's the thing. I can't really say what happened. I do know what happened to my stuff that I had on my computer. Everything that I had for this, every intro that you saw, every segment thing that you saw, gone. Can't get it back. Gone. So luckily this is StreamYard. This StreamYard program is phenomenal. It saves everything that you need it for that's right here. I don't even have as much as a logo on my computer left, so I've got to find them on my phone and send them back to myself. Because my OneDrive crapped out because I lost space. So now I've got this external hard drive that is actually for an Xbox, but I got it reverbed over for a computer.
Nice.
So, but long story short, I come in, I just got done editing our video and our audio for our episode with Heather. Uploaded the audio with the description and everything. I was waiting for the export of the video so that I could put it on YouTube. It was finished exporting. I reset my computer every single time just to where it kind of speeds things up to where I can clean my cache and my cookies and stuff like that, right? Mm-hmm. And then when I reboot my computer, I then upload it to YouTube. So I reboot my computer, I bring it back, I start it back up, blue screen, it says that we had a problem booting your computer.
No.
So I was like, okay, that's weird. Never had that. So I spent probably 3 or 4 hours by myself trying to YouTube it and figure it out. And then I cut my losses with me trying to do it. So I called Daniel, and Daniel kind of walked me through a couple things to try. And then when he saw what I was going through, he was like, dude, I am scared for you. And I was like, I know that's like techie talk. Like, I get why you would be worried, but is there anything that I should be hoping for? And he said, right now, I'm not going to, it was worse than a doctor diagnosing cancer, right?
Bobby, I don't think so.
Well, in my living life, I can make that comparison because I've never had cancer yet. if I ever get cancer. But what I'm saying is it was like as if Daniel was my doctor. He walked in and he said, "Sir, would you like the good news or the bad news?" Over like Facebook, like calling. I was calling him on Facebook, right? And so he's like, "Dude, your hard drive's probably fried." And I was like, "It can't be, because I ran all the tests on the computer. I could still do that, but I couldn't get past the, I don't even know what that part of the computer is called. I'm not that tech savvy, but I do know my way around a computer and like what I need to do with things for this. But I couldn't get past that part, and he thought my hard drive was fried. Wasn't my hard drive. Still don't know what it is, but everything's ended up gone. So I just downloaded, probably so far downloaded 50% of things that I need. And I'm going to have to just go back in and remake everything else, like the intro, the outro, and all the, I think I might not do segments from now on with music, because it'll kind of shorten down my editing.
I get it, man. Well,
I mean, it's not that I don't want to do it. It's that I spent all that time doing it, and now it's gone, and I don't want to do it again.
I get it.
And it's not going to be the same as it was, so it'd have to change, and I get that. I'm fine with change.
2.0 is always 2.0.
I'm fine with change, but if I'm going to change, I would rather change it for the better. So I'm going to want a little bit stronger of a hard drive to be able to put everything on, and a bigger one.
Sure.
So I'll wait till I get that, and that way we get put on a better schedule. That way we have our missing in action fellow Chubby buddy on here, and then I'll probably go a little bit more extreme. I will redo it. I don't know how long that part will take, but I will have an intro and an outro for every episode, but I will not probably have segments in between.
Speaking of redoing elements of the podcast, you and I have been spitballing something that I think we should share with the people. What do you think?
I'm fine with that. And I actually have I think a better idea of how I think we should do it. And then we can kind of spitball off of that.
I was going to say, what you had pitched originally, or at least not originally, but the most recent draft that you gave me the other day, I think it was, or maybe it was today, where you talked about doing it in the style of what we do with Jordan with the players, but having it be for specific actors. I really like that idea. So I think if we could just narrow down maybe what those questions are, but you said you had maybe a fresh idea. So let's hear it.
Like with the actors, I think what we could do for that game, and that's just for the actors if we wanted to do with that. But if we wanted to stick with like movies that we've been doing,
sure.
What we could do is give you an idea of, instead of giving you questions about the movie, give you other movies that the main characters in that one movie are in outside of that.
So it's like 6 Degrees to Kevin Bacon kind of thing?
Almost.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So like if, say you're doing Hangover, you could say one of the actors, like you would say, how many is in that? Probably 5 main characters in that. And then you would have 5 other movies that they would be a main character in.
Okay. Gotcha.
I mean, I don't know how that could go, but the questions that I was going to say and that I wrote down is going to be the age, the sex, and what region they come from. So like an American actor who's 43 or whatever year they were born, or if they died, you give that first right off the get-go. Right.
Okay.
And then the first question is going to be, the first clue is going to be, like, as if we were doing it for Jordan, is he's known for this genre of movie.
Okay.
So, quote unquote, what college he went to, right? And then, instead of being where he went, where Jordan's players are drafted, is where we go for clue number 2. Then you go his first debut movie.
See, I like that.
And then the second or the third clue, I guess that first one with like the age, the year that he was born and maybe died, and then where he came from, I kind of think that that's necessary for you to be able to narrow it down to a specific group of actors or actresses. And then the clues will go off of how we do Jordan's. So the third clue after that would then be his first major role as an actor or actress.
Okay.
And then the third one is going to be, or fourth one is going to be, what's the Emmy? Not the Emmys. What's that called?
Oscars. Yeah, I was going to ask.
What's that award classified as? But what's it called? It's a not a daytime Emmy, but you have
Oscar.
Well, what is an Oscar? It's a type of an award. It is an Oscar is an Oscar.
An Academy Award, right?
An Academy Award, right?
Yeah,
so you
Academy
put down
Award.
like how many Academy Awards has this person won?
Yeah. I like
the final
that.
clue.
Like that.
And then the final clue is going to be his last major role year. So like for the movie is going to be the year and the genre of movies. All of these will be.
So if we did a test run of that, let's just pick an actor. Say, just because I think I should be able to do this off the top of my head ish. Will Smith.
Okay. Will Smith. All right. So he was born in probably 67, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's just
mid to late.
I'll just Google it while you're guessing, I'll correct you as we go.
Right. So mid to late 60s, American male. First major role. Would we say then Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
No, that's what I'm saying. We need to be specific to like the movie area so that way we can't get sidetracked. That way we're not trying to curveball you.
First movie then would have been.
Well,
what did Will do?
Let's Google it. Debut movie. You would never have guessed this. So that's what I'm saying. So what we would say is his debut movie came out in 1992, and the genre is where you would put the genre right after that. Okay. Have you ever heard of the movie Where the Day Takes You?
Where the Day Takes You. Nope.
Yeah. That's his debut film.
Okay.
So after that is his first major role in a movie. And I bet you that was probably Men in Black.
Yeah. Because he was blowing up as a singer, and Men in Black was his first movie role, I believe.
Right.
First major one.
Yeah, Will Smith's first main role, or what do you call that? Is it a major role?
Yeah, I'd say major role.
Or you have lead role. How's that instead of supporting role? Lead role.
Lead role.
Because he was the lead in that. All right, Smith began his acting career. That was the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but movie. That's where it kind of threw me off. Because I was like, when Fresh Prince? All right, 1992. After Where the Day Takes You, Smith quickly became one of Hollywood's most successful and bankable stars. He currently holds the record for most consecutive $100 million plus box offices.
Dang, that's a cool fact.
What role? I bet you I'd probably have to go to his IMDb, is what I'm guessing.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where I think that we're going to be able to get most of our information that we need.
That would be my guess too. But I like it.
And we can play around with it. So like whatever ideas that you have, we can add to it or take it away. And then before we actually make it a solid. So his first movie that he was a main role in, I'm going to have to argue that it's got to be Men in Black. Wow.
I'm sure of it.
No. What? That's wild. He's been in a lot of movies.
Oh yeah, dude.
What year do you think his first song came out?
First song, 1991.
Nope.
80s?
Yeah. Oh my God.
88?
86.
86?
Yeah, him and DJ Jazzy
I thought I was pushing it with 88. I was like, okay, maybe 89. Bobby's messing with me, but
all right. Dang, here he was actually in an episode of The Blossom as Fresh Prince. That's wild. All right, so wow. His first major role, you'll never believe it. Bad Boys.
Bad Boys was not his first one.
1995.
Bad Boys was before?
Unless you know what 6 Degrees of Separation is. I don't know what that is.
6 Degrees of Separation? I might have.
Made in America. He was a T. Cake Walters. I don't think that's a main role. But his first main role movie is Bad Boys.
Yeah, Bad Boys was fire. I love that movie.
Still and then Independence Day.
Yeah,
Men in Black. Men in Black
then came out before
96. Men in Black was 97.
What?
Yeah,
I was thinking Independence Day, but I wasn't thinking Independence Day was before Men in Black.
Right.
I thought Men in Black
So,
was the
like,
first
really
one.
where I think we are going to struggle is narrowing down what year that person was a main, like,
I don't think so. Give it a threshold, man. Give it $1 threshold.
but that's what I'm saying. Like, if you don't know, like, if you didn't know that that movie came out first and you didn't know what year that movie came out,
Yeah, we're
that's
gonna
where
have to
I'm
look
saying
at IMDb and do the research.
no, I'm saying for me trying to stump you, that's where we're going to fail a lot is those years. So we're going to really have to crunch down on like where we're going for it. So I don't know. Is it a clue of maybe giving a movie that you wouldn't have necessarily known them to be in, to where you can think of the movie and see who's in it in their mind? Like, here you go. Here's one. This person was in the movie Black Hawk Down.
There could be so many people.
Right. But like I'm saying, like this person that I'm thinking of, you would not know him to be in it.
Vin Diesel.
False. That was Saving Private Ryan. Saving Private Ryan. That's what he's in.
Wait, what did you say?
Black Hawk Down.
Oh, crap. Yeah. Hang on. No, I do know somebody that's in Black Hawk Down too.
That you wouldn't necessarily think that was in it?
Yeah, there's somebody.
If you can get it, I will be impressed.
I promise you, I've heard this somewhere, and I'm blanking on it now. Go ahead, stump me with it.
Now, the other movie that you know him for would be, like if we were going to do movie clues, right? The next, let's go with his. I would say his most prominent movie that everybody knows him in.
Okay,
Batman: The Dark Knight Rises.
Okay, Dark Knight Rises. So
I think that's the one that he's in. If I'm wrong, then I'll clarify. That would be what it is.
Wait. Tom Hardy is in
Black Hawk Down. It was his first movie ever.
That's wild. I think I heard that somewhere, but like, so what's his role? Is it like very small?
Well, I don't think it's really a small role, but it is obviously portraying like real people. So you can't say that that's a small role. Obviously, it's not a leading role. I would say that it's one of the knockoff supporting roles. So like, I think that there really isn't a main role in that movie. You've got two guys that they focus around, and that's Eric Bana and I forget the other guy's name, the guy that's leading in the crew of people. What is his name? The guy from Pearl Harbor, where the one that he marries his best friend's wife or whatever. When Ben Affleck is the one they think is dead.
Joshua Hartnett.
Joshua Hartnett, yeah, his character and then Eric Bana's character are the ones that they're really kind of
I remember
looking over their shoulder.
Josh Hartnett and
and then you have this. Everybody else, I feel, is like a supporting role because it's based on an actual event. At first, when I was thinking about it, right, I was watching it. I don't remember what day I was watching it. This was a couple months back, but like when I was watching it, if you think about it, there's a guy in there talking about how well he likes to prepare coffee. It made me think that it was the Black Rifle Coffee Company guys, but it's not. So I was like, whoa, dude.
It's an older movie, so.
Right, but those guys were in the mid to late 90s is when they entered, and they were Navy SEALs.
Oh, okay.
And that's what I don't know if this guy in the movie portrayed a Navy SEAL or if he was a part of the Army side, because Delta Force is what the group is going around for Black Hawk Down, because it was the attack in Somalia in 1993, I think, right? It's been a while. But anyway, yeah, we just really need to narrow that down to where we can to where it's not too hard, to where it's not fun for us.
Well, we got to make sure it's playable for everybody else too. Like
and that's what I'm saying. I don't want it to be so far out there to where we've got to like rent a book to figure it out.
I like it. I like hitting the highlights, and I think once we like get it all narrowed down, we'll run a couple of practice rounds by everybody, and we'll see if they like.
Yeah.
So you'll have to let us know, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe, and then unlike and then relike and that stuff.
Yeah, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you were not subscribed, and we do appreciate you guys listening.
Please do.
I will have the episode from last week up in some time. It's just going to be a minute, but this one I'm going to do first. So, but anyway, I saw you snacking on some of the meat sticks from our buddies over at Primal.
You know it. I got meat sticks still left. Trying not to let Jordan see it because he's threatened my life and he's threatened to come take them from me. So they're so good.
Those right out of the fridge.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The hardest part is staying back off of them. I want to just eat the whole package. I've already had 2 now.
I think the most I've eaten is probably on here. I've probably had a whole package of 5 of them with an apple beer. It really pairs well with a beer. I don't care what you say, especially a Busch Light apple beer. Busch Light's coming out with a peach beer.
A peach beer.
Peach beer. I don't know how I feel about the peach thing, but I bet you I'm probably overthinking it. I bet you it's going to be pretty nice for a summertime beer.
I got a peach tree in my yard.
I am
desperately, I'm trying. It's bearing some fruit, but they're not quite big enough to do anything with. We pulled a couple last year, and they're pretty good. But
would they be better to have a Primal tree in your yard?
Oh, dude, I would cry the manliest tears if there were a Primal tree in my yard. Let me tell you, let me paint a visual for you. It's 6:30 in the morning, right? The sun is just barely starting to peek over the hill, right? As the beams start to peer through the trees, there's a rustling of the branches of the Primal tree that hangs in my front yard. Underneath the lowest branch is me in my robe and my NASA slippers because I have
a robe.
Huh?
You have a robe too?
I might have a robe. I got pajamas and a hoodie and NASA slippers. It's like a full-on NASA outfit, okay? So, and there's me, bottom ranch of the tree, just picking out pieces of beef jerky.
What flavor?
Well, obviously, bottom rung, that's going to be bacon jalapeno. Easily accessible there. Closest to the ground, closest to the jalapenos.
Tree only grew one flavor.
What?
How many trees? Yes. How many trees?
6 trees.
No, hold on, though. How many trees are you going to want to choose from at 6:30? Did you say 6:30 in the morning?
Yes.
Okay. So at 6:30 in the morning, you said you're not an organized fella.
No.
You just want to go straight for that bacon jalapeno. So you only need 1 tree. Are you going to switch them out in the seasons?
Trees.
Are you going to switch them out?
6 trees.
Okay.
There are 7 days in a week.
Right.
Which means every day of the week, you're going to find me at a different tree.
What are you going to do on that 7th day?
Surprise Sunday. Okay. You're just going to find me
shake a little there.
It's like a sample day. Okay. We go to each tree and we pluck a little bit off of everything.
It's like a fruit basket.
A little bouquet with us.
Yeah.
That's if a Primal tree existed, that's what it looks like.
I'm not one
pocket of heaven.
I'm not one for those Bloody Marys. I've never really been a Bloody Mary guy, but I bet you would be fire with a piece of beef jerky in that thing.
Probably.
I've never had a Bloody Mary, I don't think.
I was going to say Bloody Mary is not my type either.
It doesn't sound good. But I've seen people get it served with beef jerky and olives and other pickles and stuff like that.
I think it requires a certain level of salt to it to make it edible.
I'm just not a big fan of tomato. Red beer is just disgusting. So
I'll do tomato anyway, but fresh. So
yeah, Primal trees are not real, but we will talk about them.
I wish Primal trees were real. Let's get on that, okay, Bo? Maybe, yeah. Just
Primal trees.
Find out.
But while we're thinking about trees, Bo over at Primal has 6. Bo and Devin over at Primal has 6 flavors to choose from, and all you got to do is go visit www.feedonprimal.com. And Josh, what promo code that is?
Dude, if they use that promo code of Chubby, that's CHUBBY, at checkout, that's going to give them 15% off of their order.
Do that math.
Do that 15% off of what? I can run that math for you right now.
15% off.
A $50 order.
Well, you're going to want it to be a little bit more because you want the $50 threshold to still be there. So let's just go $60.
Right. So let's go $60. Okay, so $60, 15% of $60 is going to be $6, and then another $3 on top of that. That's $9. Okay, so that's $9 you're going to save on that. Plus, so you bought $60 worth of beef jerky, $9 you save it, so that's $51. So you got your free shipping. Plus, on top of that, you've got with that much, you've easily got all 6 flavors, right?
Gotta be. Well, with the discount code, so let's just say
code, yeah,
50% off with 6 bags.
Yeah, 6 bags. That's the way to go.
I think it's $11 or $11.99.
$9. Yeah. $9 is what you'd save on $60.
There you go.
So
get 6 bags, people.
Do it. Seriously, you'll want to try every flavor of your own, and decide for yourself. Because seriously, it's totally random. And I'll be honest with you, there are some days when other flavors shift in my rankings. Like there's some days when I'm picking up a bag of teriyaki because that's what I'm craving. And I think on my list, let me look. Yeah, on my list, it's at number 4. But
I'll be right back. I got to go get some jerky. I got it in my fridge. I'll be back. It's making my mouth water.
Go get that jerky. So yeah, definitely hit it up. Get you some of this jerky. It's so good. Oh man, I introduced somebody else to it the other day. We had some guys that came and toured our church, and so I handed them a couple of bags and said, "Hey, give this a try." And they're already talking about coming back and getting several more bags. So it's y'all, this jerky, it's good. It's really, really good stuff. So hats off to you guys over at Primal. You are killing it. Keep up the good work, especially with them beef sticks. Seriously, guys, y'all, let's make this happen, because these things, other people need to be able to eat these, because I feel selfish being able to eat these myself. So let me.
I had to go grab them. My mouth was watering thinking about like what flavors I needed to eat. I got bacon, jalapeno, and cracked pepper today.
So good.
And a shock top.
Nice. So, Bobby, what else is going on in your world?
Before we go about this, just don't forget to go to www.feedonprimal. Don't only use that discount code. Also, after you've tried it, leave a comment about what you thought about it. The reviews are what make everything.
We want to know. We definitely want to know.
Let us know. Leave a review on their website. It's free for you. The only thing it's going to cost you is a little bit of time. That's it. And be like Josh. He goes in depth about his reviews.
Yeah. Hey, I know how I feel about stuff. I like to share it.
Especially meat.
Bro, I am the connoisseur of beef jerky. I have grown up on that stuff. Bag of that was in my hand every time I was on the road with Dad.
Oh, man. Okay, so if Primal was never there, what was your go-to bag then?
So,
Primal is not going anywhere if anybody's wondering.
Of course
okay.
Not. I grew up on Jack's Link because that's the standard. That's what you're going to find in most stores, stuff like that. More recently, Old Trapper's pretty good. Truth be told, it wasn't long of buying beef jerky that I started making it myself. Now, that's not super cost effective, ultimately.
Well, it can be. It can be.
It can be if you're willing to put in the work and do all of that. But seriously, I could make jerky for a million years and probably still not make it as good as these guys. Like,
no.
I'm an amateur. They're professionals. Let professionals do what professionals do. So for me, like, I like making it as a hobby, but for me, jerky was always, the most expensive snack that I'm gonna buy because I grew up on it, and I'm just not like, I am a meat eater. That's all there is to it.
Right.
I can't not eat meat, and like if it's meat or cheese, I'll consume it. It's fantastic. I love my proteins. So
before Primal, the only 2 beef jerkies I would say that are anywhere near in even the same category as these guys, I would say would be for the big box that you'd see like a gas station. It is not Jack Link's. It is Old Man's Land.
Old Man's Land's pretty good.
Old Man's Land is for a quick need, and if you're on the road and you need some protein, Old Man's Land's where it's at, and if they sell it. But the other one that I actually had before I tried Primal was a thing called Mingy. It's called Mingui, Mingy beef jerky.
I've never had that.
It was pretty good. But still, I like my jerky drier, on the drier side. I don't like it to taste rare. It shouldn't be anything like your steak. It should be well done, dry, and flavorful. That's it. But
how chewy do you like it?
Huh?
Do you want it chewy or do you want it dried out and stringy?
Since I know like the history behind what beef jerky was for, like I actually do that. Like I'll take one piece of it, chew it, and then put it in my lip and suck on it for like. Yep. So the chewiness doesn't really matter, just as long as the flavor stays there while you're chewing it throughout, like however long you're going to chew on it for.
So I'm going to counter with, if I didn't have Primal, this is the jerky I'd go with. Are you ready?
Oh man.
Do you remember the jerky containers that sit there in front of the counter?
And they just said beef jerky.
The little plastic lid, and they get the little sleeves, and you got the tongs, and you pull them out.
Not anymore will I do that.
I don't trust it anymore, but
no, it made me so sick to my stomach one day.
Really?
Dude, like if you hold it up to the light, it's see-through. It's like paper thin. It looks like a fruit roll up dried out.
It does look like a meat fruit roll up. They are dry. And
that is 100% not USDA.
Do what?
That is 100% not USDA.
Not approved
at all. Like I want to say that like I had to rush to the bathroom, like because we were on the road when I ate it, and I want to say it gave me some type of like stomach issue. Like it turned in my stomach. It was bad. But Primal is the perfect jerky. If you were that person that just likes to chew it and stuff it in your lip and just suck the juices for a while and then eat it.
It's great for that.
It is the best jerky for that.
I think small batch jerky is probably the best you're going to get anywhere. Anything. And this, to me, is the most consistent small batch you can find.
What was your one word? Mine was consistent. Yours was what? I forgot.
Why'd you steal consistent?
I lost
up, bro.
Mine was consistent. I asked you.
Steal that?
Jordan's
that's
was
a really good one for it.
Jordan's was the best. I think that was the word best.
I think mine was. No, it was one word, right?
Yeah, it was one word described Primal, and yours. Jordan went, and then I said consistent.
I don't know. I probably said something like delicious or something like that. I don't know.
It probably was. The flavor, flavorful, I think is what you had.
Yeah, it's very well seasoned.
And very well dry. Like it's right. There's no middle ground.
Yeah.
There's no middle ground. You either are going to like a dry jerky or you're not. And I think Primal has taken the cake with the way that they've prepared it for the texture, the flavor, and the consistency in every single batch that you have. Nothing comes close. Except for, I would say that your beef jerky that you've made in the past has been pretty good, especially your pepper jerky. I don't like your sweet stuff because you've made teriyaki before, and I'm not a fan of your teriyaki. I'm not a fan of any of the teriyakis at Quick Shop, but Primal Jerky's teriyaki is hands down the
Primal's teriyaki. I can't get a good ratio on the soy sauce for teriyaki, but I'm not a soy sauce fan. That's why I have so much trouble with it.
And the soy sauce is really supposed to add to the salt, and then your teriyaki is just it
is, but it's necessary in there, at least in all the recipes I've seen. Maybe these guys don't.
Right.
Hang on, I need to go back and look at the bag now.
They use molasses in it. I know that molasses and soy.
That's it. It's that they use molasses instead of brown sugar. I bet you that works so much better.
Onion, turmeric, paprika, garlic, natural flavors, extractives. I can't pronounce today. Paprika. Wow, they said it twice on here. I'm trying to see if there's anything different that like you wouldn't use at home. Like, granted, you're not going to use like dextrose. You're not going to go find dextrose to buy and then put it in here.
Yeah, but dextrose is just like
sugar.
Yeah, that's just there to help fill it in to keep it from.
Right. It gives it a natural sweetener. It's a natural sweetener is what dextrose is. And then There's nothing weird in here. You can pronounce every single thing on here except for my my mess up with extractives.
That's because you don't know how. That's because you just don't know the word.
You don't see that every day. Extractives, flavor, natural flavor, and extractives. I want to keep saying extractives. Anyway, let's quit digging our nose deeper into Primal's back on. So, but we do love them. Shout out Bo. Shout out Devin. We love Primal.
Yep. Appreciate you guys.
But you asked me how my week was, and I mean, it's been good. I got to play poker last night. We had a good time. There's a guy that we met. I got to give him a shout out just because it was just funny. And I'll have to tell you a little bit more about this other end of the story because I'm not going to just throw him under the bus for what he said because it was just funny. But we called him Joe CD. His name was Joe, and he kept repeating himself, saying that he was OCD.
Oh, great.
And so I stood up like I was getting ready to deal, right? And I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna help you out, bud. Here's this, just so your OCD don't get out of whack." And he misheard me, obviously, because he was, dude, nobody's called me that since junior high. And I was like, what, OCD? And he goes, yeah. And I was like, you've been telling me you were OCD for the past 30 minutes. And he's like, no, you called me Joe CD. I was like, I didn't call you that, but we can call you that if you'd like. But he's one of BJ's wrestlers, right?
Oh, man.
And so, like, we were like trying to give him a different persona. We were going to call him Joe CD. And his name was going to be a little J and then OCD as his tag.
So
and then he was going to be like an up and coming rapper.
What? A rapper?
A rapper. It was funny. We were just having fun last night talking about different personas that he could go with. I don't know if he is a wrestler or if he's training to be a wrestler. I couldn't tell you that part. We just had a good time. It was fun. I took $40 more home than what I left with. So,
well done.
Pretty good. So, hey, what's been going on with this? What is going on? What did I see about the Cardinals and the Cubs? Like, what was the whole cell phone or calling out home runs or something? I saw an article. I don't know if you saw it.
I did not.
I didn't click on it. Okay, I'm hesitant on clicking on articles.
Cardinals have been weird as of late. We're hot right now. In fact,
we were on an 8-game losing streak before this.
I know. We're hot right now. We were not hot to start the season. And even right now, I think we just lost one last night. But like in the last 10, we've won more than we've lost. So we're starting to right the ship. But yeah, we're in bad spots. And the problem is our pitching core is just awful. Like they're struggling. Mikolas is our best guy, and he's still not even pitching at his best. So it's tough. We don't have a good crew. I'm hoping they'll do something before the trade deadline. Trade for somebody. I like our lineup. We're at least making progress there, but we can't seem to shut it down pitching wise. And so, yeah, we're scoring runs finally, but we're still not able to play enough defense to keep us hot.
Right. But with the article, I was just reluctant on clicking on any sports articles anywhere nowadays because I don't know
if it's just
well, not that I don't trust them, but like most of them are like what if type of articles, not necessarily the fact. And that's what I hate. It's like, don't headline something with so-and-so traded to whatever. And then when you click on it, it's what would it look like if so-and-so, what would it look like if so-and-so? And so I'm like, it's not even worth my time to read it.
Well, there was talk about drama for a little bit that they might move Wilson Contreras out to outfield or some nonsense like that. And I was like, what? This is stupid. But it's all that. It's like you said, it's all this speculation stuff.
Another big hot news. Did you see that Pat McAfee is joining ESPN?
I did not see that.
Now, I don't know how. I mean, I haven't seen Pat McAfee live in a while. But if he does, and it's a multi-million-dollar deal from what I was reading in the like outline of this article. It was just very brief, and it was from a reasonable source. It wasn't any of that Facebook stuff. It was actually from like sports app. So, but even that stuff, I'm still reluctant on clicking on it because when Tom Brady retired the first time, he didn't even retire, and people were putting it out there, and that's bizarre. If you're going to put the GOAT's name out there and tag it with retired, like that's some pretty hot words.
You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong.
So outside of baseball, we already talked about the NFL schedule.
We did.
Next year, the Chiefs will play the Cowboys because it's our rotation that year. And I believe it's at Arrowhead. We might have to do another meetup for that game.
I'd love that. I'd really love that.
Preferably, we plan ahead and not just go with the seat of our pants. I don't like that at all.
So you didn't enjoy riding on the...
That was fine. That was fine. I'm talking about like planning it out with like what we're going to do.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but good luck. I mean,
well, you and I can do pretty good. Right. Yeah. You and I can do pretty good at it. But like it's making sure that other people have time.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You're not being passive aggressive at all here, Bobby.
I'm just saying.
Just saying.
I would love to spend more time with this individual that's no longer here right now.
I would like to spend a little more time with him too.
I got to see him yesterday.
Was that fun? Did you enjoy that?
Yeah. I mean, it was for a couple hours. What picture?
Not with you guys, but that he took with his siblings because they were all together.
Yeah.
So
I think I don't know if he was staying with one of them or if they were staying in a hotel or not, but we miss you, Jordan.
It's cute. You're cute, Jordan.
I saw Jeff Wells yesterday for the first time in forever. He lives right next door. He lives right next door to where they were having Ethan's graduation party.
Oh my. Jeff Wells, man. I miss that guy.
I talked to him. I sent him a message 2 weeks ago to see if he'd want to come on the Recess Ruckus.
Oh, cool.
And he accepted. He said he would have to wait till the fall or winter after the football season because he said that right now he's pretty busy, and he said that he could make time for it right after the football season.
Cool. That's fun, man.
So
it's real fun.
He's got at least 20 plus years in officiating high school football, and I think they've done a couple college games, so that'll be pretty fun.
That is fun.
Get some hot takes about what it takes to be one of those zebras.
On NFL officiating and stuff like that. Get hot takes from him. That'd be cool.
I think the NFL. Okay, this is my argument, right? When you look at professional sports, right, and you look at what it takes to get to be a professional athlete. I started playing football in 5th grade. You started playing, I think, either the year before that, right? 4th grade?
3rd grade.
3rd?
Yep.
Okay. The rules continued to stay the same up until junior high. And then they changed a little bit more in high school. And then they changed more in college. Granted, we didn't play football in college. True. But then they take the big extreme to rule change in the pros, right? You've got play clocks. You've got 2 feet in bounds to catch it. You've got you have to be facing a certain way to stop the clock when you run out of bounds. You're held to a higher standard, right, in professional football. Why isn't it like that for the NBA? And I'll give you my reasoning. Now, the rules may change, like they might be different, but I don't think they're held to the same standard as they are for other professional athletes. And that's...
I think it's just the specific nuances of the game, because really in any sport, you could say there's differences. Like in baseball, between the minors and the majors, you've got like there were several changes that were made prior to in the minors that they tested out that they eventually instituted into the majors. So I don't know. That's a tough one. I see what you're saying, but at the same time, I don't know that there's anything significant enough to say that it's not just situational to the sports.
No, this is what I'm basing it off of. When I watched the last professional basketball game, and that was back when Cleveland won the national championship or the world championship. I don't know what they call it. LeBron won the championship for Cleveland. I noticed so much traveling. They're able to get away with traveling. The fouling isn't called like it normally is in high school and college. Like people foul out tremendously in college and high school.
Yeah.
Not in the NBA, but yet they still do the same stuff. Carrying the ball, stuff like that. Throwing the ball off the backboard and then dunking it. You can't do that in any line of basketball, but they let it go in the NBA. And this is my argument, because it's not necessarily for the sport, it's because it's a show. And tell me this, why is it to go watch LeBron James play a regular season Laker game, why is it over $500?
It's a fair point. I mean, yeah.
Michael Jordan, I and granted, I didn't do my history before I brought this up. I guarantee you, if you go look back at any game that Michael Jordan was in that was in regular season, there ain't no one game for a nosebleed section that's costing more than $200.
It's a fair point.
LeBron is the better athlete. LeBron James is the better athlete. I'm not denying that. He's a better athlete. He's better at doing other things that Michael Jordan could do, but Michael Jordan will always be the better basketball player. Argue. I mean, nothing says otherwise. He was the most competitive athlete in all sports, in my opinion.
I mean, the 6 rings might say otherwise, but
I'm not even going to bring that up, because that could be anything. Like, even if he didn't win 6 rings, he would still be the most competitive athlete on the court. Right?
Yeah. I think some might argue, though, that MJ's not the GOAT. It's Brady.
Yeah, and do you realize the age group of those people?
I know, we're talking basketball. I'm kidding. It was a joke.
No, the age group.
No, I say, I would argue your point. I will always be an MJ fan and say LeBron can do a lot, and I agree with his moniker, the King. I just don't think that he is the GOAT.
And this is my argument. LeBron James is the better athlete, because I think that you could pull him out of basketball and I think he would be a really good football player, especially for his size.
Do you think LeBron beats Michael in a one-on-one?
A game of, like, right now, today? Yes.
Prime versus prime.
Prime versus prime, no. Michael Jordan wouldn't allow it. He wouldn't allow it.
How can you say that?
But today, I'm saying in today's
LeBron's
game,
the better athlete.
The better athlete? He can do more than one sport.
He can't beat Michael.
He can do more than one sport. That's what I'm saying. Athletics.
Bo Jackson.
He's more okay. Bo Jackson was more athletic than Michael Jordan. Also, he played 3 professional sports. So
you're just saying more athletic. You're not necessarily saying better basketball player.
Exactly. I said Michael Jordan is the better basketball player, but LeBron James is the better athlete. He's
more athletic in the
more athletic. Yes. Other sports.
You're probably right about that. Yeah.
Michael Jordan. A lot of people forget that he was a decent baseball player. They forgot, like, he was a decent baseball player.
He was okay.
I think he went on an 18-game straight hit streak. He had a game, hit 18 games in a row, I think. I don't know if it was 18, but it was a higher number.
Fact check that.
Let's Google it.
Fact check that.
You got Siri.
Nonsense.
You got Siri.
Nonsense.
Google it.
Michael.
It might not be 18, but it's a higher number than you would think.
Oh, is that so? Are we backtracking already?
No, I said that right before you said that. I said it might not be exactly 18, but it was a higher number than you and I would have ever been able to say. I would have guessed he would have struck out probably 18 games in a row.
He had a total of 88 hits in his career.
And how many games, though?
Gosh.
88 games, and he was in a minor league for one season.
So funny.
That's one season. And I don't even think he played the whole season, because he came back to the NBA the next year. And granted, it was minor league baseball.
Let's see.
I bet you he played at least 30 games, 40 games. Had to have.
What are the numbers?
Major leagues play 162. Minor leagues might play 90.
Jordan played 127 regular season games for the Birmingham Barons, Double-A affiliate in 94.
80 hits in his career.
127 games, 497 plate appearances, 436 at-bats. 202, 289, 266 was his average, his on-base, and his slugging. 556 OPS. 88 hits, 17 doubles, 1 triple, and 3 homers.
He was a decent hitter, man. That's what I'm saying.
None of them are good.
I didn't say he was good. Nice, I didn't say he was great. I said he was decent.
Feeling negates it.
But all I'm saying is that he was a decent baseball player. He was a decent baseball player.
I don't know if you can say decent, though. I mean,
the dude retired from the NBA and went to baseball.
Too with his batting average. That's not
how
decent.
long. Now, how long do you think he went without picking up a bat and hitting a fastball?
Jordan struck out 114 times in his 497 plate appearances. Bobby, your argument for Jordan as a baseball player is
it was not bad. And here's my argument. The only reason why I'm asking this is how long do you think he went from playing basketball to going on the diamond to play baseball? He didn't play baseball from out of high school. He didn't play baseball in college.
Yeah, but he was 29 when he played baseball. So 10 years?
He retired.
What? He was 29 when he stepped in to play baseball.
And then I'm assuming he played baseball in high school, right? I'm assuming.
Yes, and loved it.
All 4 years?
I don't know if it was all 4 years. I didn't read that far, but
I just didn't know how long he went. He went 10 years without ever hitting a ball.
But yeah, he's an athlete and he's trained in it.
Yes, and that's where I'm saying LeBron, and that's where I'm saying LeBron is the better athlete. I don't think he could be a better baseball player, but he would be a better football player for sure than Michael.
LeBron, well, yeah, because what's Michael Jordan going to do? Wide receiver?
LeBron played tight end probably.
Yeah, I could see LeBron playing tight end. He's got the body for it.
He's Michael 6'8".
Michael could play receiver. That's about it.
Yeah, but he didn't need to.
But yeah,
but LeBron could. That's the argument. That's scary. Look how big LeBron. He's bigger than
he's a big
Rob
kid,
Gronkowski.
I know it. Like he's a monstrosity. And I'll tell you what, I'm praying that the dude gets to go the distance and gets to stay long enough to play with his kid. I think that's going to be
only one more season.
Is it next year?
It's just one more season.
Dang, that's cool.
That's what Daniel said last night, I do believe.
I want to see that. I think that's a cool story. So
I think that's what he's waiting on. I think he's waiting for him to come in and then leave. Now, I was raised on Michael, and that's the only reason why I'm saying that I think that he's the better basketball player. But I also know that I've seen the way that the style of play has gone on. NBA is not at all what it used to be. There was like almost fist thrown.
Thank you, Steph Curry.
But I'm saying there was like fist thrown on defense, and now they don't hardly play defense.
Yeah, basketball used to be a lot more physical than it is.
Way more physical. It was almost like rugby on the basketball.
I think you're right. I think you're right in what you're saying about it being a show in that sense.
Right.
And that because it's high scoring and you know, there's not a whole lot of defense. Maybe if you had a guy like Mutombo around that was smothering people, that was swatting away balls all the time, maybe it would bring some excitement back to it. I don't know.
But we could see how good Michael Jordan was with how wild the defenses were back in the 90s, right? Imagine him playing in today's game with no defense. Like that's the only thing that I have to compare it on. Am I a basketball pro? Obviously not. But it was exciting to watch. When I would watch Michael Jordan, it was exciting. Every minute that he was on the court, it was exciting. When I watched LeBron, I'm not excited. Like that's what I find to be the weird part, is that you would think that if I'm watching the greatest basketball player ever to be alive, people would be excited. I got excited seeing Tiger Woods walk over that hill at the majors or the Masters, and that humongous crowd following behind him. That got me goosebumps.
I got excited seeing the bag of Sour Patch Kids in my cabinet.
Yeah.
When I opened my cabinet this afternoon.
I did that too when I saw that I still had 4 of the Mambas in my little candy jar.
Oh, the Mamba sticks. Let's go.
All I'm saying is that, yeah, I'm a Jordan fan, but I will argue that LeBron is the better athlete, but not the better basketball player.
I don't know that you'd have to make too much of an argument, dude. I'll go back and look at his 114 strikes out in baseball and say Michael was not a baseball player that was that good.
No, he left. He left after his one season.
Yep.
That's all he needed.
Look, if they cracked that joke in Space Jam, then you know he knew. He knew.
Oh, here's a better question. Do you think he was better at baseball, or was he better at baseball, or was Shaq better at free throws?
That's not fair.
How many free throws did Shaq miss in his
career?
career?
I wonder at times though if Shaq just missed them on purpose. Like that was just the one area of basketball he didn't want to try on.
That's another man I would not want to see on the football field.
Huh?
That's another man I would not want to see on the football field.
Oh, heck no. Could you imagine at any position?
If I lined up across from him, I'd fake an injury.
Bobby's like, my hamstring.
My back. My neck and my back.
My neck. My back. My neck and my back.
I'll be like, hell no. If I saw a grown-ass man step up to a line and me playing the position I was when I left high school, hell no. Left tackle, supposed to be the tallest person on the line, and I was the shortest.
Could you imagine him as a defensive end just coming at you full steam? Like, get out of my way, little man. I'm going to sack your quarterback.
Here you go, man. Wes, sorry, big guy.
Wes Kimmels out. Unconscious, broken back.
He's like, you had 12 brothers and sisters? Yeah, 12 sisters better. I want 12 brothers and sisters.
It was 8, but what is it? Is that what he says?
Yeah, he goes, I had 8. It was 8.
I had 8.
Yeah, 12 sounds better.
12 sounds better. Oh,
shit.
Man.
What he did to a basketball goal.
Bro.
And did you see the tree that he built?
Because of him.
Did you see the tree that he had built with all the rims he broke?
No.
In his front yard?
Cool. No, I want to see
every rim that he broke.
There's a picture of it?
Yeah, he made a tree in his front yard with all the rims on it. Now, I don't know if it was the rim or the backboard, but I think it's rim. And I think it's the rim from the backboards that he broke.
That's cool. The broken rim tree.
It's crazy.
That's so cool.
And that's my face mask. Anytime that he lines up at DN, that's somebody's face mask at left tackle.
Bro, that would be so terrifying. I would not want to be on the other side of a Shaq dunk. Oh gosh.
I'm taking one for the team. I'm rolling my ankle on purpose.
Bro, I would just
I would block him
dive into the crowd. I would get out from underneath that basket in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Back glass shattering. Well, hey, while we're still talking about sports, let's talk about HCW.
Oh yes, man. They've been doing all sorts of reveals.
Lots of reveals.
Yeah.
Lots of reveals.
Yeah, they're gonna have a dynamic cast.
I saw their sound system. It was in BJ's garage.
Oh.
That's what we're really doing to listen to music.
Okay.
Pretty complex. It's like a DJ. It's like a DJ setup for sure.
All right.
Even
so
came with a
pretty quality equipment then.
Oh yeah, it came with a mix table and all that. They took that part off because they don't need it for the show.
Right.
But I think that they could probably utilize it in some form or fashion down the line when they actually learn how to use the entire thing. I think it'd be fun to see some DJ style stuff at a wrestling show.
That would be fun. Especially if you had somebody to get the crowd hyped and keep them going in between matches, stuff like that. That could be fun.
And everybody that's listening can go and check out these reveals about the wrestlers that they're bringing into the organization. And all you have to do
on all the socials.
All you have to do is go to at Heartland. Sorry. Wow. Jerky.
Puberty. Love it.
Yeah. Jesus. It's burning.
Yes, he's a good friend.
It's burning the back of my throat. Get some
Is it?
pepper.
Well,
Yeah.
that's called conviction. The good Lord's reminding you of your sin. I'm kidding.
Now, I don't know if it's at HCW on socials or if it's actually the names spelled out. Do you know?
Yeah, hang on. I'd have to look that up.
I think it is at
definitely check it out.
Heartland.
Heartland Championship Wrestling.
Yeah, I think it's at
on
Heartland.
Instagram, Facebook. Not
Twitter.
sure, they might even be on TikTok. We'll see.
They have Twitter.
Twitter.
Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And I think Twitch maybe. But they don't have any shows yet. Right now they're still working out venues and all of that.
Well, they've got don't they have the show booked for?
They do have the Leavenworth show, but that's not until August.
They've got the Leavenworth show booked.
And that's in August, right?
Yep, in August.
Yeah. But between now and then.
HCW Live 23. That's their social handle.
On all of them?
On Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, HCW Live 23.
Okay. But you could probably Google Heartland Championship
Heartland Championship Wrestling. It's right there. You'll see the logo.
It'll pop right up.
That's awesome.
And that is the new up-and-coming wrestling federation.
You see it up in the corner.
They've got their social media is blowing up like crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure. I think not Johnny Faith. The other gentleman that Daniel was talking about the last time he was on is the one running the social media. I'm not sure. He's over here. I'll have to look it up and I'll get back to you about that. But I think he's the one doing their main of the social media. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
Got a lot of information coming out over there at the Facebook.
Good.
So what's going on with you and the Ted Lasso? All right. I need to talk about this because you were talking about your masters, right?
Uh-huh.
And all I could think about, like with the way you were talking about how you're unorganized, but yet you don't want to fall back on the things you're good at.
What do you mean?
Is that like the things that you're strong at? Like you said, to keep everything on the same road, but also trying to strengthen your weaknesses.
Not so much strengthen my weaknesses. Like I want to lean into my strengths, but I want to mitigate my weaknesses. So it's kind of a twofold approach. It's trust and lean into your strengths and don't try to do the things that you're not great at. But also in the areas where you leave a trail behind you, how can you clean up that trail as much as possible and leave the least amount of damage in your wake?
And that's what I wanted you to get back to. After you said that, all I could think of was Ted Lasso.
Absolutely.
That's all
so
I thought.
So a great example is do what?
That's all I thought of when you were saying that was Ted Lasso.
Yeah. Well, a great example of that is looking at his anxiety breakdowns that he has. What's that from? His unprocessed emotion, his unprocessed all of that.
I think that's going to be a big episode when they actually reveal that, if they do.
I think. Where are you at in the show?
I'm up to date. The next one that comes out will be.
Up?
Duh.
Well, cool.
It's a great show.
Where the show's headed for the finale, just because it's the right way to write it, in my opinion.
Right. So, this last episode, it didn't have much of Ted Lasso in it, and I was kind of surprised about it. Like he was in the beginning and then he was at the end, but he wasn't in the main plot of the episode.
Yeah.
It was different.
They're resolving a lot of side storylines right now, is what they're doing. Because they're giving you conclusions on a lot of characters.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I've got a theory about where it's headed with Ted.
Now, he was on the Rich Eisen show, I think. It was either Rich Eisen or the other sports. I'll have to figure out which one that is, but they interview him and I have it saved to watch. So I because they talk his future is Ted Lasso. And like, as you have said, that they've said this is the end of the show. Yeah. Are they going to build off of it? Are they going to build off of it though? Because I think they could really benefit.
I guess they could.
Is he going to go back to Kansas?
Really, it is a snapshot of his time in London. And so I don't know that you could capture it as well if you bring it back to America.
Okay,
I think that's
but
part of
is he
what
gonna go
sells.
to anywhere else to do a different sport?
Yeah, but then it's then you're rehashing some of the same themes. I think here's the thing: Sudeikis is enough of an artist that I think he's going to leave it be. He may revisit the character, but I don't know that he'll revisit the show.
I give him props that I think the show has shown his worth.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Like from what we know him
his friendship with Beard. I want to see that explored more in other movies and things like that.
One of my favorite scenes is where he walks in, right, and he's like 8 days without a urine drop on my pants. Do you remember that one? He walks into the office. He's like 8 days, no urine drop on my pants. I wish I could go 8 days. It was just like all of the stuff that you don't ever see it coming. Because one of my most favorite parts of the show, like, granted, you'd have to really watch it to understand it. And I think that it's the episode where the guy comes out of the closet for being homosexual, right?
Yeah.
And he uses the example of a friend who is a fan of the Denver Broncos. That was the best analogy without actually meaning. Yeah. And he goes, I guess I did. That wasn't right, was it? Oh, well.
I laughed so hard at that because
it was the best. It was the best way to bring comedy into a serious situation you've ever seen.
It was so good, so funny.
Does he help write this? I guess I didn't ever really look into it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
I just wasn't sure. If he does, if he has the main writing job for himself, then he's done the best.
I don't know that he's the main writer. Brett Goldstein's one of the main writers, which is Roy Kent. He's one of the main writers. I know that.
He's impressive. I think he's changed out of all the characters the most.
He's fantastic. I love the way he writes. I love the way he acts. Like, they're great.
What else is he in?
I've even seen some videos that him and Jamie Tart have done, and those two are really funny together. Like, just their friendship in real life.
Don't they know each other for real though?
Oh, I don't know how well they know each other, but like they're becoming friends because of the show, and like they're really funny together. Like, so I could see them working together in the future.
The only other person that I could see really helping out with this show that I thought would be pretty funny was Ryan Reynolds. Just the fact that he would add to since he just bought a soccer team.
Dude,
I thought that was so funny.
Found a way to bring in Wrexham into it, I would have died laughing. Even if they could do like a one-off like short or something, that could just be so good. I just want to see Danny Rojas square up against them. Danny Rojas!
I was going to ask you who is your favorite character, and mine is Danny Rojas. I don't know why.
I do love Danny Rojas. Stan Obasanya's fantastic. Roy Kent, I think, is probably my favorite character of all of them. Although Jimmy Tart is lovable as the show goes on.
Where he goes over. Have you seen the most recent episode? Have you seen the most recent episode?
I've seen the most recent one, yeah.
Or the tie-dye shirts?
Dude, nothing. Yes, okay. The tie-dye shirt, oh my goodness, was so good. So good. The interaction between him and Jamie in Amsterdam, though, the Amsterdam episode is so good. The bike. Oh yeah. My goodness.
I don't know how to ride a bike.
I was dying laughing at that scene. So funny. Let's go see a windmill. Oh gosh.
But in this last episode, they really paired up well, like where he was where they had to pay a fine for every time they cussed. And Jamie just said, like, I forget what he said. And he was fine with paying the fine with his niece.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, oh, I'm fine. I'm okay with that. It gives her it gives her a pound. Totally worth it. Or well worth it. That's what he said. Well worth it.
Well worth it.
But no, I think that this show is I think there's a lot of people that don't know a lot about it because they don't have Apple TV. Yeah. And that's where the show is still a huge hit. It got so many awards like crazy. Like imagine if it was on Netflix.
Dude, it would be
a million times bigger.
For a while.
It would be But I think they would like the bad thing is that I think Netflix would ruin it
because she's watching it now. Like it's still so good, even the second and third time through. It's funny.
I think Netflix would ruin it trying to change it in the next seasons each time. That's the only thing that I find that Apple does well, is that they're not trying to mess too much around with it.
Apple's really kind of embraced like some creative control with the content, but like it's weird to me how short Apple's run their seasons. 3 seasons is so far pretty standard for Apple.
Now the 4th season of that news, the morning show, is coming out in August.
Show. I haven't watched that. Is that good?
Okay. Did you like the TV show The Newsroom with Jeff Daniels?
I didn't watch that either.
Okay. All this is
the Jeff Daniels ones. I saw clips of it. I never.
Yeah, you saw like Why Is America the Greatest Country?
Yep.
Yeah, it's
not
famous one, and that is the from the eye of the right wing. And then this show, the way that I see it, is very similar because they're doing the exact same job. Yet they have different like timelines in life that they're doing it in. But I think this one is more from the left wing perspective.
So liberal then?
Yeah. Gotcha. It's very liberal, but they do a lot of right wing. It's pretty much how the liberals used to be, like politically, how the liberals were all about freedom of speech, how they were all about all of that. Like,
gotcha.
During Clinton, like they were all pro, like you need to hear my voice, and now they're really trying to silence people.
Right?
Do you get what I'm saying?
I do. Yeah.
And that's where I think that like it's balancing, because you have people in the show that want to have the freedom of speech, and the people that don't want that because they're worried about how they look in the eye of the viewers. And that's really all it is. It's the Newsroom, I think, was more my style just because I like Jeff Daniels, but I still really enjoy this one, even though, I mean, I don't believe I'm not one side or the other.
Sure.
I'll listen to both sides and then I'll make my decision based upon who I believe has the right path for us as a nation, usually. And so far, I still think I like the Newsroom better just because of Jeff Daniels, but who doesn't like Jennifer Aniston?
It's true. She's pretty phenomenal.
I could go without Reese Witherspoon, but she does a pretty good job in this.
Heather loves her. That's her favorite actress. One of her favorites, definitely.
I won't bet against her. I mean, I don't judge just 20.
Because she's not a Drew Barrymore fan. So
yeah, I appreciate Drew Barrymore for what she's done with Adam Sandler.
Yeah,
I didn't like E.T. I didn't like Charlie's Angels, and I didn't like Cat's Eye or anything like that. That just wasn't my
liked
take.
50 First Dates.
I appreciated 50 First Dates. My favorite movie with her and Adam Sandler was The Wedding Singer.
Oh, yeah, Wedding Singer too. Yeah, that was good.
She has her moments. I'll give her that. But hey, it's just Hollywood.
Oh, Hollywood.
Well, hey, I know that you have a wife to go spend time with and kids to go spend time with, and we are only short because we are short one guy, and he is too short.
It's the short one.
The short one is shortening our.
You've made it shorter.
Yeah, the short one is shortening our time together.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I've appreciated our time together, and I love you, Bobby.
I'm surprised we went an hour and a half, man.
Me too. There's some good content. Hopefully they enjoy it too. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you don't, let us know.
Yeah, leave a comment. I don't care. I know that half the stuff that comes out of my mouth is like wild horse crap, and that's what I'm here for.
We're big believers that this show is basically you just tuning into a nonsense conversation. I'm
completely full of crap, and I've got no evidence to back any of my. I'll be the first to admit it. I don't try
into the conversation. Hopefully, you've grabbed your snacks and jumping in with us. But thanks for coming.
So hopefully the Primal Jerky. Go grab you some Mamba sticks, maybe some Mamba Tootsie Roll things. And while you're snacking and listening, hit the like button. Please consider subscribing and leave a comment to let us know how much full of crap we are. I'm fine with that. Just remember,
it's not me that's sensitive. It's my microphone.
See, this could be your segue to your own podcast. I'm not sensitive. My mic is.
I'm not sensitive. My microphone is. And then I just talk really quietly into my microphone.
Yeah.
Just very soft and simple.
Why are you yelling? Why are you yelling?
I'm talking.
Is your mic yelling for you?
It's very sensitive. My microphone. Not me. Just my microphone.
You got has your wife not trying to get off topic here. Has your wife dolled up your fanny pack yet?
Bro. No, she has not. But can I be honest with you? And I swore I wasn't going to tell you this. I found a purpose for it the other day.
That's awesome. I love it.
This stupid thing. And it's so annoying. But here's what happened. I was going up into the attic in the church to move some stuff, to move wires, to connect a screen for the daycare director to be able to see the cameras for the class in her new office. And so I'm up there and I'm like wearing like gym shorts. And so my phone, my AirPods, all that stuff are in there. And I'm crawling around in the attic. So like if I turn the wrong way, something's slipping out of my pocket, right?
Right.
And so of course I'm like, gosh, dang it. And I see it right there on the counter. And so I grabbed it, stuffed my stuff in it, put it on my hips. It fit perfectly. And I went up into the attic and didn't lose
a single item.
It was so helpful, dude. Like I even that front pouch, I was able to put my phone in the front and turn the flashlight on. And I had a little like waist flashlight holder. It was so
dude.
It was so
Did you tell Heather this?
I did. I felt like such a nerd.
And what did she say?
Give me my pocket protector now, man. I look so dorky.
I don't think you have many pocket like shirts, do you?
No, God, no. I always thought those were the ugliest thing ever. Dad used to wear those dress shirts that had the pockets in them.
I have flannels that have pockets, and then I have like short sleeve, like party shirts that have pockets, but nothing I would ever want to put a pin in. But I'm glad that Jamie picked out the perfect satchel for you.
Dang you, Jamie.
Are you going to use it again?
I mean, if there's a good reason to use
outside of your sermon, outside of the sermon that you're going to preach with.
I still got to figure out what I'm going to do.
Well, snacks is what you were going to put on
it. Snacks. Yeah, that's right.
Or
I'm going to put a bunch of snacks in there.
Yeah,
this is my preaching snacks.
Everyday EDC, everyday Christian, everyday carry.
Oh goodness!
Do you have a Bible that can fit in there?
Oh,
besides your phone?
No, not one small enough. All mine are bigger.
I guess you could incorporate it into your sermon that you would be able to talk about tools.
That's what I'm trying to figure out is
and then you have to tell the story about how you told me that you would never use one.
Oh yeah, I plan to. Like how the gifts of God and how our stubbornness can be. I don't know. I'll figure it out.
How it can be a tool used against us when we need to make our lives easier.
Ooh, there's something that might preach. We'll see.
Preach it. But I love you, buddy. I'm glad you came on. Man. Hopefully Jordan will be here sometime, and Daniel, our +1. Yep. But
we miss you guys.
Most of all, also Jordan.
All right. Those of you that are still listening, we love you guys too. We appreciate you.
Later.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Yo.